G'day, it's Rob here again. Well, in that last video I did, you would have seen where I was machining up this case for another model steam engine, and you can see that I've done a little bit more work on this. I've produced some fat off of it, machined it back there, opened up the inside a bit more. So that's how it's going to be. It's the final version of the case. So okay, am I shooting a video just to show you this? No, I'm not really. I'm actually trying something today. I've got a new mobile phone. I've got a Motorola E7. I previously had a Motorola E2 that I had for 6 or 7 years. Great little phone, and I never shot video with it because the camera was pretty ho-hum. But this new E7 supposedly has got a better camera, well, supposed to be a good camera. So I'm just doing a bit of test shooting here, and we'll just see how it performs. So here we are with normal vision, no zoom, and it looks to be doing quite a good job. All right, I'll zoom in and see how the zoom is on this. So how good is it? Well, it looks okay on the camera, but of course we won't know until we put it on the big monitor. This is where their biggest failing is when you zoom them. So we're only on sort of a probably half zoom here, and yeah, we'll see how it shapes up. Right, we've zoomed in more, and it's going to get worse, I'm sure. So yep, we'll see how it goes. I want to go in even further. So here we are, and I'm expecting that there'll be some aberrations for sure. There could have been some of those previous shots. So yeah, this is basically showing you the limitations of the camera, and you may have to do brightness correction. I see it looks like it's underexposing a bit, so you can rectify that with your video processor. There is an adjustment on the camera. You can basically increase the brightness, but you might as well just do it in the software that you use to process your video. And I just use Windows Movie Maker. That's all I've ever used, Windows Movie Maker. Free, works good, never had a problem. No fancy bells and whistles, but I don't do that on my videos. They're just straightforward, and yeah, I don't think it really adds much when you put all that glitter and glitz on them. It's a bit distracting, if anything. All right, now I'll shoot the same shots with the old Nikon, and you can see the difference. Right, well, here's the Nikon in standard, just normal mode, no zoom, and you can see what that looks like. So now I'll zoom in a bit. This is just on the normal settings. So now I've zoomed in, and you can see the clarity is still pretty good. I mean, once again, this is a dedicated camera, and it's got a much bigger lens. It's a lot better in light conditions. It's just an all-round better way to shoot than with a mobile. But anyway, I'll just give you an idea of how they compare. And I'll zoom in further. That's about as close as you can get with the Nikon, but you can see it's doing a pretty good job. So yeah, the Nikon is hard to beat. So even though I have a $650 Panasonic Lumix, just so I can have an external microphone, I still prefer to use the old Coolpix, the Nikon L820, which, yeah, cost me $215 new, and now you can buy them second-hand for about $100, $120 Australian. They're a good camera to start doing YouTube, and I thoroughly recommend them. It's small, compact, has anti-shake, so once again, you don't get anti-shake with a lot of mobiles. Mine hasn't got it. So okay, now we'll take a general shot of the lathe with the two cameras. You can see the difference. Okay, so here's the Nikon with no zoom and no macro. Okay. So you can see how it handles motion and also how it handles hunting, because I've got the autofocus turned off. I always do that. I don't like hunting. So we always get hunting with anything that's on full autofocus, because it's going to be trying to follow moving objects. Some are worse than others. And yeah, I'll come in closer to the chuck. Okay, I've zoomed in. I've got macro on, and we'll see how it goes. Obviously it's no problem whatsoever. And now we'll repeat the exercise with the mobile phone. You'll find also that the audio is going to be louder on the Nikon than on the mobile. It just seems to be that way. So anyway, we'll get the mobile. So here it is with the mobile phone in the same situation, and we'll fire it up. And we'll check for hunting. Okay, so we check for hunting there. Now we'll zoom in. Now we can't use macro with video. You can only use macro with still photos on this mobile. I don't know how other mobiles are. So we'll just purely rely on the focus. So now I've zoomed in, and we'll fire up the lathe again. Now, normally shots like that you wouldn't have your hands anywhere near the chuck, so hunting won't be a problem. Hunting will only be a problem if you're moving your body around somewhere in the shot. So there you go, that gives you an idea of what a mobile phone can do. This is a current model E7 Motorola Android, and I use a little mount made by Manfrotto on a tripod, and there's my old Nikon over there, my L820 that I've had for a long time now, and that's great because it runs on AA batteries. You can just keep banging in the AA batteries. If the battery goes flat, you don't have to have proprietary batteries. And I see that Nikon, they went away from the AA batteries with this version, and they've got several models that come out since. They went to proprietary, modular square type batteries, and now they've gone back to AA's because they're just so much better. And you can just have a pocket full of AA's and you can shoot all day, just feed it anything, and it'll handle it. It's a fantastic camera, that thing. And what am I shooting this with if these two are down here? Well, I'm shooting this with the Panasonic F700, the $650 camera, and see if you can spot the difference between that and the Nikon for images. Okay, that's it for me. Hope you found it interesting. I'll see you next time. Cheers.